I will bring Democrats and Republicans together to finally address this problem. We will take on the big drug companies and insurance companies who've been blocking reform for so long and provide affordable, quality health care for all. We'll cut costs for small businesses and their workers by picking up part of the tab for some of the most expensive illnesses and allow small businesses to purchase insurance in a new low-risk pool, expensive to treat, by investing in a paperless system to cut administrative costs, and by covering every single American and making sure they can take their health care with them if they lose their job. That's the commitment I'm making to you, the American people. And that's the plan I'll sign into law by the end of my first term as President of the United States of America. So you're going to have a clear choice in November. You can choose a plan that could make our healthcare crisis worse, or you can choose to solve our healthcare crisis once and for all. It's time to stop saying that you are on your own to uninsured Americans and struggling families and small businesses. It's time to reclaim the idea that Kate and the nurses and doctors and staff here at Barnes-Jewish live out each and every day, that we all have mutual obligations to one another. That's why I'm running for President of the United States.
It obviously concerns me. These are unlawful combatants. They are not American citizens. But, and I think that we should pay attention to Justice Roberts' opinion in this decision. But it is a decision the Supreme Court has made. Now we need to move forward. As you know, I always favored closing of Guantanamo Bay, and I still think that we ought to do that.
First of all, it's the Supreme Court decision. We'll abide by the court's decision. That doesn't mean I have to agree with it. It's a deeply divided court, and I strongly agree with those who dissented that, and their dissent was based upon their serious concerns about U.S. national security.
And a lot of people now say the surge is working.
Anybody who knows the facts on the ground say that.
If it's working, Senator, do you now have a better estimate of when American forces can come home from Iraq?
No, but that's not too important. What's important is the casualties in Iraq. Americans are in South Korea, Americans are in Japan, American troops are in Germany. That's all fine. American casualties and the ability to withdraw.
It's well documented that we have, for quite a long time now, known where the real problem is in the Middle East. And in fact, the President adequately described it as the axis of evil. I guess my question is, how many times do we have to prove that these people are blowing up people now, never mind if they get a nuclear weapon? When do we send them an airmail message to Tehran?
That old Beach Boys song, Bomberan? Bomb, 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 bomb.
That I have agreed with President Bush far more than I have disagreed. And on the transcendent issues, the most important issues of our day, I have been totally in agreement and support of President Bush. So have we had some disagreements on some issues, to both particularly domestic issues? Yes, but I will argue my conservative record voting with anyone's, and I will also submit that my support for President Bush has been active and very impassioned on issues that are important to the American people. And I'm particularly talking about the war on terror, the war in Iraq, national security, national defense, support of men and women in the military, physical discipline, a number of other issues. So I strongly disagree with any assertion that I've been more at odds with the President of the United States than I have been in agreement.
How do we beat the bitch?
May I give the translation? The way that...
God, I thought you was talking about my ex-wife.
But that's an excellent question. You might know that there was a poll yesterday
a Rasmussen poll I identified that shows me 3 points ahead of Senator Clinton in a head-to-head matchup. I respect Senator Clinton. I respect anyone who gets the nomination of the Democrat Party.
Today, as I suspend my campaign, I congratulate him on the victory he has won and the extraordinary race he has run. I endorse him and throw my full support behind him. I understand that we all know this has been a tough fight, but the Democratic Party is a family. And now it's time to restore the ties that bind us together and to come together around the ideals we share, the values we cherish, and the country we love. We may have started on separate journeys, but today our paths have merged. And I ask all of you to join me in working as hard for Barack Obama as you have for me. I have served in the Senate with him for 4 years. I have been in this campaign with him for 16 months. I have stood on the stage and gone toe-to-toe with him in 22 debates. I've had a front row seat to his candidacy, and I have seen his strength and determination, his grace and his grit. In his own life, Barack Obama has lived the American dream as a community organizer in the state Senate, as a United States Senator. He has dedicated himself to ensuring the dream is realized. And in this campaign, he has inspired so many to become involved in the democratic process and invested in our common future. Now, when I started this race, I intended to win back the White House and make sure we have a president who puts our country back on the path to peace, prosperity, and progress. And that's exactly what we're going to do by ensuring that Barack Obama walks through the doors of the Oval Office on January 20th.
One people. We are one nation. And together we will begin the next great chapter in the American story with 3 words that will ring from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. Yes, we can. Thank you, New Hampshire. Thank you.